Hey guys, Micah from Black Bear Custom Kydex. I have a video for you today on a couple of sheaths that I've just made for the Tops Operator 7. And as it goes, I always talk about this when I have like some of these, bigger, more, I don't want to call it obscure, but this has happened like a few times now with the Operator 7 and with the Tops SXB, where I'll get multiple orders right around the same time for the same knife. So it's just kind of cool that it works out that way. It's kind of weird, but whatever. I'm going to ride the wave. So anyway, both of these gentlemen have the Tops Operator 7 Blackout Edition, which is awesome. I prefer this over the standard edition. I think it looks really, really cool. And both of them have ordered, both of them are named John, or Jonathan, so that's pretty crazy. And yeah, all right. So Jonathan asked me to make his sheath with flat black and some kind of red highlight or accent. So we got this sort of reinforcement slash accent plate on there. And this is in Mossy Oak Elements Blood Red. Looks really cool. It's got kind of like a blood red swirl pattern going through a black background. I really love this print. It comes in a bunch of different colors. So anyway, that's what I chose for this. He kind of gave me free reign to do that color scheme the way I wanted it. So I thought this would look really cool. I like the the shape of it and all that. I just think it looks really fierce. And he asked to carry it on a tech lock and scout position. I talked him into doing 2 tech locks just to make sure that a knife this heavy and this long would stay really stable on his belt. The other thing I did was, it's kind of hard to notice I think on camera, but I compressed the inner sides of these a little bit more. So it's actually tilted this way and this way, which creates a slight saddle and should make it slightly more comfortable on the body, up against the small of your back. So he's going to be drawing it with his right hand from the small of his back like so. This is what scout position is. Now you got to be really careful with scout position because number one, you don't want to miss the sheath and accidentally stab yourself or something. Hopefully you're going slow enough that wouldn't happen. But definitely exercise a little bit of caution when you put this thing back into the sheath. The other big thing with scout carry that is probably the reason why I don't scout carry at all is because if you were to fall and land directly on this, it's in the small of your back. That's a really vulnerable spot to have a fulcrum there for you to fall onto. So you got to be really careful because you could seriously injure yourself if you were to fall on top of this thing. The sheath will keep the knife from doing you direct damage with the blade or anything, but just the fact that you do have some, inch or so thick piece of, or hard, whatever. You get what I'm saying. You can seriously tweak your back. You can blow a disc. I don't know, maybe even break your back, but just be careful carrying scout, all right? As far as the draw goes, you can see you got a nice ballistic one-handed draw. This is a pancake sheath. It's the first pancake style sheath I've done for this knife. Usually I do taco. You can see a taco sheath right here. We'll talk about that one in just a second. I found that pancake actually works really, really well for the Operator 7. I was impressed. I normally don't like doing pancake style sheaths. They're not quite as strong as a taco style sheath. A lot of people like to do pancake because having the rivets on both sides means, at least for the user, it's going to be probably easier to find ways of mounting more stuff or making this more accessible for putting extra attachments on, whatever. For sheath makers, or at least for some of us, we find ways around that with the taco style sheath. That way we're not compromising with the strength. But having this reinforcement plate on here really does make up a lot of the ground that you would lose with pancake over taco. So I think this is going to be a very, very rugged sheath and should last him a lifetime. So, all right, Jonathan, there you go, my friend. There's that one. The other one, this is also obviously going to a John, and that sounds a little bit, not a John, it's going to John. So anyway, John asked for a chest carry, obviously. This is set up on a harness that I built, and it can be reconfigured so that the knife can carry with the blade tip down, tip up, You can do the over-the-shoulder carry. If you guys just saw that video, I posted it last week on the SP53 Bolo, the Ontario knife machete. I had that like ninja draw set up. This can go in that configuration too. So what you have to do to change the configuration is take your plate. You got to take this plate off, and you can see these D-ring adapters. You got to move them around and figure out what's going to work best. There are a lot of drill holes. There's a lot of compatible angles and ride heights and all that. So it's just one of those things you're going to have to mess around with. There is no actual universal setting that'll work for everybody. What I found, the original setting that I had set this at was actually just a little bit too broad for me. So I actually brought these in so that it'll keep the knife closer and keep the handle from sticking off my chest. So you do have to just play around with it. And you have the option, of course, if you can find any free space in there and you figure out that, you know, you'd like the D-ring to be somewhere else, just take a 3/16 inch drill bit and poke a new hole. It's really easy to do. Just take the plate off before you do anything like that. So yeah, you can reconfigure this. It's ambidextrous. You just have to flip the plate to the other side, obviously. And yeah, you got a ton of options. As far as how to get this back on your body, at least in this configuration, I always make sure that the two buckles down at the tip of the sheath are connected. Just throw it over your shoulder, grab the buckle around your back, plug it in, and you are good to go. You are probably going to have to, this is not a really quick adjusting harness. It takes a little bit of time. The webbing is really thick and durable, so that means it's not going to slide easily through all the tri-glide buckles. So you need to take it off and manually adjust it and then put it back on. I know that takes a little bit of time. It's kind of a pain in the butt, but it is definitely worth it to have something be quite this rugged. I promise you, this is super solid sling setup. So, all right. That's pretty much what I got for you on this. Trying to think if I'm missing anything here. Yeah, that's all I can think of. This is flat black with some black basket weave on it. Yeah. All right, guys. That is all I got for you. So, anyway, if you like these sheets, if you like this video, hit that like button. If you like the channel, subscribe. Comment down below. Let me know what you think of the Operator 7, and tell me what you think of the double Tech-Lock Scout carry as well as carrying on your chest. The application that I see for this thing is, I mean, personally for myself, when I'm at the campsite or something, I like to downgrade a lot of the time to just athletic shorts so that I'm, you know, more comfortable out in the heat and not being anything that I'd be wearing a belt with. It's nice to be able to still have a knife on my person in a way in case I go out in the woods and try to hack down some limbs or collect tinder or whatever I'm doing out there. It's nice to always have a knife on you. And yeah, athletic shorts is hard to wear a dangler or Tech-Lock with those. So baldric carry or chest carry is the way I go personally. The other thing is I like to backpack. I like hiking, things like that. And when I have a rucksack on or any kind of pack, it kind of, you know, rucksack is going to inhibit my ability to quickly access my belt or anything that's attached to it. So this is a really great option. So if you guys are in that category of, you know, campers or people that don't want to wear a belt for whatever reason, or you're backpacking or something like that, and you still want to have a knife on you, or actually here's another good application. The Operator 7 is getting into that territory of size where it might not necessarily be comfortable to carry on a belt because of the weight or because of the actual size of it, having to draw off your hip and do that weird chicken wing thing. Obviously a dangler can lower it so you have a comfortable draw. However, it's just nice to maybe have something that's a little more natural. So to me, I think this is actually probably the best way to carry something like the Operator 7. At least if you're carrying out in the open, you know, you're not going to conceal a knife like this probably. So yeah, this is just my 2 cents. I really like chest carry. I like baldric carry. Those are my favorite ways to carry personally. But I'd love your opinions down below, and definitely get some conversations going on the Operator 7. Really spectacular knife, and the Blackout Edition I think is that much cooler. So, all right, guys, like, share, comment, subscribe. Thank you for sticking around, and tune in for the next one. God bless.